Hi there, this is Bonnie, and technically this is part 3 to a Halloween journal that I have been working on. It's going to be kind of more of a magical Halloween type journal as it's going, because I'm adding different stamps now that there's been a new release at Fairy Hugs. So again, I'm just going to remind you, I have used the ShimmerGust paper pad from Fairy Hugs. And I've also used Miss P Love's Boundless journal to create the base for my journal. And we are going to be working on 2 of the pages I had skipped over from the last one. We're going to do 3 and we're going to do 4. And just a reminder, when you are stamping, if you would like it to go across the page, use your center line as your parallel line is the best way I can say it when you go to stamp. Today I am going to be using from the new collection. I'm going to be using Daneth, which is a fairy. Here, I think, yeah, we can kind of see it pretty good this way. You can see his outline, and he has a separate staff with an owl on it. I am going to be using the Sentiment Little Magic. Everything is better with a little magic. I am also going to be using the Wizard Lightning. And this works really good. I'm not going to be using it today for that purpose, but this works really good for the wizard to hold. There's 2 other wizards, but I'm going to be using the large lightning today. And then there's also a brand new set that was created just for our Fairy Hugs 2nd anniversary. And it was being offered, and maybe by this time my video is on coming up showing they might be sold out. But I just wanted you to know, if you cannot find it, it was offered for our 2nd anniversary. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up and we'll get stamping. Okay, so the wizard Daneth is going to be walking up this hill that already looks like it is a hill on the paper. I'm using the paper background as my guide for this. I'm going to be using VersaFine Clear Nocturne. And these are really great little stamps. I stamp him, and I am not going to be doing a mask, because by stamping him with a black and then stamping with Acorn, I'm going to stamp him a little bit more. That's because I knew when I got started that I should have added, and you hear me say this all the time in the videos, I should have added more ink before I started, and I didn't. But it still worked. Yay! Okay, so as I was saying, I am going to stamp the staff with a cute little owl on the end in brown in the acorn. And it works really great with showing up with the black. So I'm really happy about that. And of course, look at this. Isn't this funny? Section of my ink. I'm not getting that, wasn't getting that lid coming off. Okay, let's see. Ta-da! That looks great. Super. And so easy to stamp so far. If you've seen, it's pretty darn easy. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to add the tree right next to our cute little wizard Daneth. And I think, oh, let me point out, I keep doing this all the time. See how I've lined this up with a grid so that it's straight and not crooked? That makes a difference for when you're stamping with these pages. I think I'm just gonna, I don't really want to overlap his hat too much, I don't think. Although if I go there, nope, I could go above his hat and get closer. That works perfect. All right. This set, the 2nd anniversary set, is very, very good. It's got so many different stamps in it to do scene building, I absolutely love it. All right, let's see if I can do that without moving the paper. Yep. And I'm stamping that in Black Nocturne. It could be stamped in the brown. You could be really creative. You could even stamp it in the dark navy color from the paper or whatever. I'm just going with the black. So you can see how super simple that is to stamp that. Now you could add so many more things to your journal pages than what I'm doing. This is just really giving you the basics, and then you can build from there. There's nothing stopping you from adding to these pages, giving it more character. All right, that's great. So technically, I am done with this page. I will probably add the mask, moon, or sun, because it is kind of yellow, but it could be the moon. And then I'm going to start working on the other page. And I'm going to show you how the scene continues across. Again, I am lining up, as you can see, that side, the inside of the, I don't know what you call it, I keep calling it a binding, but whatever you call the inside of the page, I line it up so that it is straight. So it is a continual scene, and that works great. All right, so for this one, because I know sometimes you guys like to see some new techniques, I think I'm going to do that technique last, so that's okay. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the lightning, but before I do the lightning, I am going to do the mountains here, and just to show you. Again, this is our anniversary. This fits perfect on this paper. Not only that, but you can get, it looks like a snow caps. And so that is super. I have used this on many of my cards already because I just absolutely love it. And you can even color this in. There's plenty of, to give it a little bit more dimension if you want to. But it looks great just by itself on this paper. All right, I want to make sure I got that lined up so it looks right. I do. And what I do, I move it a little bit more. Okay, here we go. And for this again, I am going to be using the Black Nocturne. It would also look really good with the Morning Mist if I want it to be more faded in the background. So keep that in mind when you stamp it, if you want it to be more faded. That looks pretty good. Then I'm going to give, I can just see a little bit that will bug me. Tiny bit. Okay, perfect. And then the last, well not last thing, but the next thing, I am going to be doing the sentiment down here. Everything is better with a little magic. I think so. Okay. I'm just showing you that you can do this really simply, or if you want to add more, you go for it. There we go. And I also try to line up a little bit with my grid on here too, so that it doesn't look too terribly crooked. Yep, that looks good. Get that out of the way. And the next thing that's coming is a little technique that I'm going to do. I was kind of like debating which way to do it. There's two ways, and so I'll tell you both ways, but I'm going to be doing it the simple way. And probably do another video eventually with a little bit more detail. Okay, so that works. Sentiment, everything on there. Now, so the last thing I want to do, and I have to be really careful because I'm going to be using embossing powder, is I am going to be doing the lightning, the largest lightning. I'm trying to see where I put my, Here it is. Okay, so at the very top, you can see this looks really good to put lightning. It's just, I don't know, just set up perfectly for it. So now I could just straight away do it in black and it's good to go. But no, I want to do something extra. And you could do, like I said, you could do, actually there's 3 ways. You could, probably more than 3. You could do this in black, or what I'm going to be doing right now is I am going to be doing it using the VersaFine Clear Golden Meadow, but I am going to add clear embossing powder to the top of it because I think it enhances it a little bit. Now, if I was going to go a different step, I would probably, I might still stamp it with this color no matter what, but I would probably stamp it. We can stamp it in clear embossing and then come back with ink and go over this, and this will be a resist. And that would be pretty cool too. So it's just depend on the mood if I want to, and I still might do it. I still might add a little bit of chipped sapphire to show you how that works, because I can do that with this. But you can see just by itself, without adding the embossing powder, it looks pretty darn cool. But to add one more technique, which we can do quickly, and you know what I should have done, which I never do, I always forget to add that powder so that it doesn't cling, and I didn't do it. But all right, so the next step I want to show you, I need to grab a piece of paper that's not too dirty. I'm just using Wow embossing powder, the clear gloss, and I'm gonna just make sure, you know, I've got, these are still wet down here, so I'm not gonna put that on there. That's not gonna hurt it if it gets on it, but I'm just gonna put the embossing powder on the lightning bolt, the Wizard's Lightning. But you could make a really great scene with these lightning bolts and embossing powder and doing resist. It'd be super. All right, so I'm going to heat emboss this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got that done, and you can kind of see that there's a little bit of a gloss to that. Super. That's my resist. And not only that, even if I didn't, like I said, want to do anything, just leave it like it is. It's great. But the embossing powder actually made it darker, so I kind of liked that. So I am using chipped sapphire, and just to give you an idea, it's like I said, it is a heat resist. And so I can go back over this, and you can see right now I'm kind of like making it a little bit darker even, but it's adding to that. And then what I actually can do is pull that back away. I can take that so that the darkness is not on top and still make that bright. So you can kind of see how that's coming along by adding that color. You can do that with even just plain white paper. Make your own background scene. I kind of really like that there's that texture still back in there to give it the variety. I kind of like it. And it still works good. I think the color in the background might have been more of a, not really sure. The color in the background. It wasn't a chipped sapphire color to begin with. That's for sure. But anyway, works really great. And then, as always, I'm going to go around the entire edge with chipped sapphire because I think I did so far for everything. And it just kind of works for this one. But I wanted to show you how I take that ink back off the top of that, but I kind of like it this way, but I'm going to still show you. I just need to get a Q-tip a minute. I'm not really sure This is what everybody calls a Q-tip, cotton swab. Q-tip is really the brand name, so it's probably more of a cotton swab for most people. So I just spray that. I missed the end of this, so it's slightly wet, because why? Distress oxide reacts with water. You can take it away. So, and you can see there's a little bit of blue on that. So I don't get really crazy about it, because it'll take all the ink away from around it too, unless I want a little bit of a halo of some sort whenever I'm doing this. I just lightly, I don't push hard on it, I just lightly. But here's the deal. You see the blue? What I'm doing is I'm just rubbing more blue, so I have to rotate it and use a different side to really get that off. So that's if you want to have it show up just a little bit more, and that's what you do. And that works. Okay, so this one is done, unless I wanted to color these in. I don't think I am. And then the other page, I'm doing a little bit of masking. I'm going to make that have a halo. Again, I'm just using chipped sapphire like I've done before. Hold that down about where I would like this to be. Oh, this size is a 2.5. I think that's how I want it. Yep. I'm going to rotate that. Hold it in place. All right. So now it looks like a moon. It could look like the sun. And I'm just going to lightly rub around with what I have left on my blending brush to make it a little bit darker. Then I have a scrap piece of paper that I use all the time for I want to see how this matches up with this. So it looks like it's kind of like still continuing over here. I'm going to go like that. And I know it's green, but I want it to kind of blend with that second page. So I'm just holding that just slightly above the feet. And I'm putting in chipped sapphire again. And the more you add, the darker it gets. Okay? So he's walking on his own little hill. Again, I'm going to go around the edges. Okay, so we've got our pages completed. And again, like I said, if you want to add more to your pages, I think you should. I think that'd be great. This is just showing you a simple, continuous way. You know what? I might even add, let me do a little bit here. Hold on. I think that's what I'm going to do. We put that together. I want it to look more continuous. Let's add that to here. Wasn't the plan, but I hadn't made this yet, so wasn't really sure. Okay. So let's check that out. Yep, that'll work. I might even add more. Because I'm picky like that sometimes. Okay. I think that works. So I'm going to go ahead and put that inside our book. Let me show you. This is pages 3 and 4. And they're going to fit just like that. Oops. Okay. I'll get those glued in, and I will take a picture for you, and that will be at the beginning of the video. But for now, I would like to say thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying this process. We have 2 more videos to go because I have 2 more sections. And let me just show you. We did this one last week, or 2 weeks ago. And then I've got this set to do, and this set to do. So we have 2 more videos to go, and we'll be completed. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed that. The information will be in the description below.